Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for Aries for March 1st to the 7th. But before we do, I just wanted to highlight my beautiful new bracelet. If you can see it here. It is a beautiful look at the bottom. It opens, it's very adjustable, it's just gorgeous, and it has a beautiful amethyst crystal in the center. And I just wanted you to take note of this because this came from one of my subscribers and I want to big up her work. All right, so if you love this bracelet, she also does rings. This is one of the rings that she has that she's made for me. It's a little bit big, so I'm going to have to get it a little bit sized for me. But the same sort of thing, right? It's got beautiful crystal inside, wrapped in copper. But in any case, her name is My Frequency, and she is on Etsy. And if you are at all interested in getting some of her beautiful handcrafted jewelry, please do go in the description and the link will be there. I am definitely one of these channels where if one of my subscribers is an artist of some kind or a handcrafter, or maybe you even make nails, if you want me to show your stuff on my videos, and it's the kind of thing that fits with my vibe, then I am more than happy to showcase it. So this is not paid promotion or anything. This is just a lovely piece of jewelry that she made available to me because I had asked her about her jewelry after checking out her IG site. And I was just so blown away by the craftsmanship. And to me, I think it's very beautiful. So there you have it for My Frequency, New York City. Just check her out. All right, let's get right into it, Aries. All right, we're going to pull out, like we normally do, your 3 romance angel messages for the week, March 1st to the 7th. And then we're going to get into your animal spirits, and then we will get into your actual spreads. All right, guys, so here we go. We have straight out for you. Keep an open mind, Aries. We have let go of control issues, and we have worth waiting for. All right, very nice indeed. So let's go ahead and get your animal spirits out, guys. Now, of course, if you want to get a private reading, you can always go to the link in the description or the link that you saw at the top of your screen. See what kind of animal spirits you have working with you this first full week of March. February was a rough month for everybody, right? It just seemed to be, anyway, to me from the readings. And the March love readings are up, and I think a lot of us are dealing with a lot of love and career issues mixed in together, and that just seems to be the way of things for my collective. Let's go ahead and see what the first week of March is going to be like for some of you. Now, these forecasts aren't going to be for everyone, and if it's not for you, that's fine, right? It just is not for you. We have the Scorpion for you, Aries, coming out first. Fire energy. Not to be confused with the Scorpio astrological sign, okay, guys? So we have the Cobra, the inner teacher, right? And we have the raccoon, right? Earth energy. So we have 2 fires for you and an earth. So let's get right into it. We have the Scorpion, which is fire energy. The Scorpion is associated with an individual who is highly competitive, right? Highly competitive, very secretive. Sometimes the spirit of the Scorpion is there when we are holding on to grudges, right? Holding on to slights of the past. The Scorpion is a very sort of super protective animal spirit, right? So his stinger is always ready to attack if it feels it's being attacked in any kind of way whatsoever. Scorpion energy oftentimes resonates with those of us who may not have a lot of friends in our lives, but the friends we do have are very, very special to us, very close to us. Generally, when we are resonating with the spirit of the Scorpion, or it is coming into our lives, more than anything, we are being asked to sort of let go of the things that we're holding on to that continue to bother us, that continue to upset us, that continue to hurt us. and to sort of just realize that it's only you who's suffering. You know, you're almost stinging yourself by holding on to these things, and it's really, really time to let go. Like I said, some of the attributes of someone who's resonating with the spirit of the Scorpion is a high level of competitiveness and drive. These are often people who are indeed very, very ambitious also. But again, to further the progression of someone who is resonating with the spirit, they really need to think about some of the things they've been holding on to in the past that continue to really upset them, right? Now, the Cobra is another fire energy, and the Cobra is representative of the inner teacher, ever watchful, always waiting, watching, patient, always loving. This is sometimes representative of our spiritual guides or angels who lead us down the path of learning, right? And so in a lot of ways, this is the inner teacher also. Oftentimes when we're ready to learn something or we are opening ourselves up to being a student in some area, right, we realize, listen, I want to learn more about this side of myself, or I need to learn something about some area in our lives. Generally, when we're talking about emotional issues or issues to do with our passion or following our passion, following our dreams, the spirit of the Cobra kind of wakes up within us and guides us where we need to go. And so in this way, it is a guide, a teacher to us. And because we're open for the lesson, the Cobra is always ready to impart the wisdom or to impart an experience from which we can learn. Now, the raccoon is a beautiful animal spirit. Really love this. And it's interesting that it would show up in the same reading with the Scorpion, because the raccoon is similar to the Scorpion in the way that it also likes to be in the shadows, but more so because of its shyness, right? This is an earth element spirit, animal spirit, and the raccoon is extremely sort of, I'm not going to say insecure, but shy, unwilling to show itself, would rather sort of be in the shadows and not have all eyes on it. This is the person who likes to work behind the scenes, to get things done, and not in any kind of nefarious way, but simply because it doesn't like all of the spotlight on it. The raccoon is, however, the spirit of the raccoon is associated with musicians and handcrafters and anyone who has a particular talent with their hands, because the raccoon is a highly talented animal spirit with regard to its hands. Anything you put in the hands of a raccoon, it can be turned into a tool. It can be used to create beautiful things, like I said, like musical instruments or tools that you would woodwork with or metal work with or even draw with, right? We're talking about that kind of high level talent. All right, guys, let's get right into your spreads for the week, Aries. We're going to pull out 3 forecasts for you for this week. And they are intended to be separate forecasts, so separate experiences, right? So you can resonate with any one of the 3 or none at all, and that's fine, right? I just like to do 3 forecasts. This is the rule. I do my weekly readings along the rule of 3s in a lot of ways. A lot of you out there will know what I'm talking about, but in that sense, to give you 3 possible outcomes for your week and not just one. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and see what some of you may or may not be dealing with, my lovely fire sign of Aries. All right, here we go. Straight out, we have the Ace of Cups, 7 of Wands, and the 8 of Pentacles. So some of you are coming into this week with an Ace of Cups energy. There's a new love in your life, certainly, or an opportunity for new love coming into your life. It may have already begun before the week started, or maybe beginning right towards the beginning of the week. The realization that there is a new cup of love in your life, right? You're coming in, excuse me, you're coming into this week, though, and you're met with a 7 of Wands energy. There is going to be some area in your life where you're going to be feeling very sort of like on your own, right? Like you're going to be feeling very much like David and Goliath, like it's you against the rest of the world. And it's quite interesting that your week would start off with an Ace of Cups and you will come into a 7 of Wands. I believe that some of you may have issues with This new love that is coming into your life may cause you issues with people around you, people in your family, people in your social group. You may feel like you're having to defend this new relationship or this new opportunity or option for love coming in. And I think in a lot of ways, this is why you're coming up against the Seven of Wands. Almost, it could also be, it could also be that some of you are just getting a lot of people who are trying to stand in the way between you and this love connection for some reason, right? Again, it can be that they don't approve because perhaps you guys come from different religious backgrounds. You may come from different social backgrounds or cultural backgrounds or racial backgrounds even, right? For some reason, it does feel very much like you're having to defend yourself. And there isn't really very many people in your corner. Nevertheless, Aries, you're very strong when it comes to this, and you're going to handle that. I'm going to say keep an open mind. Remember, keeping an open mind says that your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And that could very well be that this is the reason why you're having to come up against a lot of these obstacles this week. Or certainly it feels almost like interference or blockages coming in from others. By the end of the week, you round off with an 8 of Pentacles, and basically you decide, you know what, I'm just going to knuckle down on work, right? It's my life, and the best way for me to get through all of this is to just keep on working. It could very well be that there is a financial component here. You may, for instance, you may come from a family that will be the type of family to cut you off if you don't, if you don't hook up with the right person, or if the type of person that you're hooking up with is someone that disapprove of. So it's quite interesting that you'd round your week off with 8 of Pentacles, meaning basically you are disciplining yourself to sort of knuckle down and get the work done that you need to get done to make sure that your finances are where they need to be for you and possibly your new love connection, right? 4 of Wands, 8 of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, interesting, because this is very similar to the last forecast. Again, you have a 4 of Wands. You're coming into the week with a 4 of Wands, which is very, very strong connection. It's a soulmate connection. It's a connection of mutual respect and bonding. Certainly, it's the type of connection that is, has the potential for lasting a very long time. It has possibility for progression, right? And it's happiness there, right? However, you come into this week, you're met with the 8 of Cups. And it's interesting that there are certain events that happen this week that cause you to kind of turn your back on certain relationships because you're not getting what you want back. You're pouring a lot of energy into that relationship and you realize you're really not getting anything back. Again, it's a feeling to me that you are now sort of settling into this kind of this love connection here that is definitely strong and stable, and you're wanting to move forward. But it could be that as a result of this decision to commit here, there are other relationships in your life that you realize you can no longer put your energy into. Right? Again, we go back to perhaps family or friends or culture that, perhaps you've been putting a lot of energy into certain people in your life and they're not really supporting you here with this 4 of Wands. It can also be that if you're moving forward with a commitment here, then of course you need to pull back your energy from certain relationships, because it's like saying, if, for instance, if this is, say, for instance, you're possibly going to be getting married here or engaged or starting your own family, then you can't keep pouring, your energy into the overbearing mother or the stepmother or the uncle or whoever, right? Or friends that maybe you've been hanging out with for a long time, but now you're becoming a family person. You have your own sort of core family that you're starting, even if it's just the 2 of you and there aren't any children involved. The point is that this is your main relationship, and this is the relationship that requires a lot of your energy. And for a lot of you who have been dealing perhaps with some more shallow relationships in your life also, maybe these relationships were a little bit toxic. It could be the influence of this soulmate in your life that's making you realize that you've held on to some toxic friendships. In any case, all of this happens and you begin to sort of turn your back and you round off your week with a Queen of Pentacles, which again is all about putting your energy into your career or your work. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video. It just seems that in March, a lot of us have love connections that are really sort of and career moves and business moves that seem to be tied up together, right? Either you are moving on with a career to strengthen a love connection and support it financially, support what you two want to do together, or you're meeting someone through your career, all different sort of scenarios like that. But this one here, again, Aries, it's like you're saying to yourself, well, I have this family here, I have this commitment here, and the most important thing for me now is to make sure that my career and my business are getting the attention and energy that perhaps I was wasting on some toxic relationships here or friendships. But now I want to put this energy into my career path or into my business path, my financial stability, because I have plans with my soulmate. And of course, you know, we do realize that love is different than money, but in order to have the life that you want to have a certain amount of financial stability, right? And it's important to work on that rather than to continue to sort of waste energy on relationships that really don't get you anywhere. The Fool, the Hermit, and the Knight of Cups. So for some of you, you're starting a new path. This is the final spread for Aries. Some of you are indeed starting a new path in life. You're about to really go down a whole new sort of, start a whole new sort of adventure, I'm going to say, right? And it's interesting because, again, here we have a total dichotomy in a lot of ways. This week, you're met with Hermit energy. I'm going to say for some of you, you may indeed be starting a new life in some portion, like maybe a new career path or a new like a creative project that you may be beginning that's going to be a long-term project. But you are in the throes of living quite hermited right now. You've been very much to yourself. It could be that you have been walking a very solitary path lately, right? Up until now. Maybe the last year or two has been very much about self-realization, getting into your own spirituality, getting to know who you are. This is what we talk about with the Hermit. It's all about really sort of understanding yourself, learning yourself, working on yourself, becoming more of who you are, and just learning who you are, right? So you start this new path, interestingly, but by the end of the week, you do have a Knight of Cups. So someone is seeing you. And it could be that this new path is through this new path. Like I said, if you're starting a new project or a new job or something like that, or you may have even moved, something to do with this has allowed someone to see you, right? Someone has come into your purview or come into your path. They see you and they want to get to know you, Aries. They want to sort of get closer to you. There's a crush there. There's feelings there. And they're definitely reaching out to you. And I'm sure that they have seen that. They probably can see that you have been sort of living a sort of hermited life, that you've been on your own. Maybe up until now you've been single. But they see you nevertheless, and there's interest there, you know. And again, it could be, keep an open mind. It could very well be that this is somebody you're really, really not used to. Let go of control issues does come in also, because sometimes when we get used to living a very hermited life, we also become quite controlling of that as well, right? Even though this is a path to self-realization, you know, any type of life that we live, we can become quite sort of used to it. And there is always a degree of control issues that can come in if we fear losing it, right? And it could be that this person coming into you, you may not be used to it because you have been on your own for some time. So just take care that you don't inadvertently sort of like, you know, push them away or try to control the situation because it's not something that you're used to, or because the person coming into you is someone that you're not really used to. In any case, keep an open mind, right? And allow things to happen naturally. This could very well be a love connection that is meant to be for this next stage in your life. All right, Aries, this is your weekly outlook for March 1st to the 7th. Thank you so much for checking it out. If you enjoy my readings, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to check out My Frequency New York for beautiful jewelry that she's making. But for right now, Aries, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week for your weekly outlook. Bye-bye now.